The word of the day today is bus, because today is as good a day as any to throw your friend underneath one. Today, we're talking about the Some Ordinary Gamers situation, but before we get into all of that, hey, hi, hello, my name is Dan Frampton. Welcome to the Art of Slop. If you're not familiar with the Nux Taku Some Ordinary Gamers drama going on right now, well then, you're in kind of the right place. This is a slop channel, so I am very lazy. I'm going through this very quickly. I might mess up some facts, but it will be entertaining, okay? So if you're gonna take anything from this video, don't use it as a source, use it for lols, okay? Alright. That being said, like, comment, and subscribe, and let's keep on moving. Holy crap, this drama goes back a couple months at this point. I don't have the time or the patience to get into the nitty-gritty, to get into the beat for beat of this thing. But, for context, I have to give you the speed run. So, this is gonna go back, I don't know, 6 months-ish? Give or take, okay? Sometime this year. You know how it goes. Muta, this guy that you're seeing over here on the screen, one of the biggest YouTubers going in the slop side of the world right now, had a podcast called Some Ordinary Podcast. Kind of a play on his channel name, Some Ordinary Gamers. Pretty clever, right? Anyway, in that podcast, there were two other, co-hosts or whatever. Oompaville and Nux Taku. Oompaville, irrelevant to this matter. We're not going to talk about him anymore in this video. Disregard that name altogether. Nux Taku is the guy that is going to dominate the conversation today. He's a VTuber, already creepy. He dresses up like an anime character avatar every single day for his videos. Already creepy. And he does really long reaction type videos. Very creepy, very weird. Not into this guy's stuff whatsoever, okay? But for some reason, Some Ordinary Gamers, Muta over here, found enough interest in Nux Taku to befriend the guy enough to come on to his podcast. It was relatively successful, at least for a YouTuber run podcast. I listened to it, for Christ's sake, every episode. I'm sitting at work with nothing else to do when they dropped, okay? What else do you expect from me? And a couple months ago, this podcast came to a screeching halt during the Shadman situation. Shadman is an artist. I hate to use that term because he's definitely not an artist. He draws children in compromising positions. He draws real life children in compromising positions. Very disgusting. Disavow all sorts of behavior that Shadman exhibits, okay? Anyway, back in the day, Nux Taku was out here being like, hey Shadman, we should collab. But to be fair, everybody on YouTube, well not everybody, but a good chunk of people in 2016 era thought it was kind of cool to be on the Shadman train. It was all edgy jokes. And up to a point, it is just edgy jokes. But when you start drawing children, real life children of your enemies online, and weaponizing it, it kind of turns you into one of the most evil, disgusting, deplorable people on planet Earth, let alone the internet. And Shadman is one of those. Oh, did I mention he dressed up like a Nazi too? Oh, my bad. Anyway, that's Shadman. In 2016, Nux Taku, like I said, was going to collab with him, but then later on, there was a retcon in the lore, okay? Nux Taku claimed, no, I was going to interview him and berate him. I was going to grill him. It was going to be a trolly good time. It would be like Oompaville's interview with Andrew Tate. Sorry I mentioned Oompaville. I said we weren't going to talk about that guy ever again. And through that Shadman drama that resurfaced 6 months ago or so due to Ava Chris Tyson, that led the spotlight over to Nux Taku and being like, hey, how weird of a guy is Nux Taku? And that would send a lot of the sloppers sniffing around, especially Chud Logic, who runs an 8-hour-a-day drama live stream here on youtube.com. And Chud Logic had Muta on his channel for a little interview. In that interview, Muta was like, yo, the podcast is over, but I can't give the whole reason why. I'm going to give you sort of the reason why. I'm going to hold back a little bit. Anyway, there's a whole drama there. I'm not here to get into that. But by the end of the Chud Logic interview, Chud Logic felt like he was kind of lied to or not really given the full story, or kind of like Muta was saying one thing to him and then other things to other people kind of situation. Muta basically made Chud Logic look like a lying bitch, so to say. And Chud's credibility was called into question, so of course Chud was gonna grill this guy on it. And now that I'm thinking about it, maybe Chud should have been the one interviewing Mr. Beast instead of Oompaville. God damn it, I gotta stop mentioning that guy. Oompaville. Okay, it's all out of my system right now. Talking about Mutahar. Since that spotlight was on Nux Taku about Shadman, and people were sniffing around, of course people came sniffing around to Mutahar, and there were calls, there were messages that were leaked of Mutahar and Nux Taku engaging in hentai viewing together. I think they might have been doing it with Oompaville. God damn it! I don't know the specifics of the hentai, okay? I don't watch the stuff. I don't know any of the classifications of any of that kind of stuff. That's all gobbledygook when people start mentioning these words. Because like I said, they're all degenerate freak weirdos. If any of these words are normal to you, then you might be a degenerate freak weirdo as well. Either that or you're in the commentary community. And basically what Mutahar is doing in this video that I have pulled up, that I am not going to play, by the way, is him bringing up those clips of those calls of them watching hentai together and condemning himself and apologizing for them and apologizing to Chud Logic, but making Nux Taku look like the biggest pervert in the entire world. I don't think any of these people should be trusted at all, okay? I have to mention before we go on with this story, SomeOrdinaryGamers is a much bigger channel than Chud Logic and Nux Taku all combined, and then some. So Mutahar talking about this situation on his channel might actually be Streisand affecting it just a smidge. Because this video entitled Post Nux Clarity is not going over well, not by a long shot. Already sitting at 2.6 thousand dislikes. But I love a train wreck, so you know I popped a like on it. I'm a big fan of this video. You really gotta go watch it. It's 40 minutes long of a man being like, I'm not gross, this guy's gross. It doesn't matter about the time that we were being gross together and all those things that people were saying on Reddit. I'm not weird. Nothing is weird here. He's weird though. I'm not his friend. I'll never be his friend again. He's gross and disgusting. He is a weird boy. Me, totally normal. Absolutely nothing weird going on over here on the SomeOrdinaryGamers channel. But Nux Taku, super degenerate guy, never trust that guy. That's what this video is. I just summed it up, okay? But essentially, when a video is backfiring, you have to go to twitter.com or reddit.com to get all the juice. Because normally the audience is on the creator's side. Not this time, folks. Mutahar is facing what I would call backlash in his comment section. I don't know if I'm missing something or whatever, but this really seems like you're throwing your friends under the bus to avoid some Reddit drama. And then the person coming to defend Mutahar is actually digging the grave even deeper. And I don't know if they know how ironic and funny what they're saying is here. If his goal was to avoid Reddit drama, this would be the worst move possible. This video is gonna be like dropping a nuke. Yeah, yep. Sure is, bud. I love this sentiment right here, which is getting upvoted a lot since we're talking about Reddit. This could have been an email. Regardless of how you feel, I think we can all agree there's no reason this should be 40 minutes. Yep. Well said. The title is insane. There's a couple people on his side in here that are getting like 90 some odd likes or whatever that I can't avoid completely. Gotta tell the full story. But most of the comments that are rising to the top that have all of the likes and engagement are either memes or kind of roasting him about it. I did not have sexual relations with that cartoon. That's not my joke. That joke belongs to Yummy Poison Zero. You remember that one guy that slandered Wendigoon? Yeah, you sound like him right now. In my opinion, this is just Mutahar saving his own skin by throwing someone else under the bus. Word of the day. EV Comics comes in and says, you almost had me before I realized you looked at so much worse content on the dark web over a decade. Why throw your friend, and now likely your YouTube career, away because of old videos with dark humor? You explained yourself what those Nux videos are. They're not gooning, they're edgy jokes. What are you, iDubbbz? One thing about this comment, I don't think he's throwing away his career, not by a long shot. I think he's gonna be fine. He is gonna take a razzing for this, that is for sure though. But you did hit the nail on the head over here. They were just edgy jokes. I have to reiterate over here, edgy, weird, disgusting jokes that I do not condone, that I disavow immensely, but jokes nonetheless. And some of the drawings that were being looked at and being discussed go way beyond disgusting, okay? But for me to even throw these guys in the same category as a Vosh over them, I don't know if I feel comfortable enough to do that, but I do feel comfortable enough to say that they are super weirdos and they are just coming across like degenerate snake backstabbing losers. Millions of subs and millions of dollars isn't gonna change the optics on this one, buddy. But at the end of the day, this feels like a nothing burger, to be honest. And to be honest, kinda, but there's lore to it. Friends are backstabbing one another, throwing each other under the bus over relatively small matters. That, my friends, is drama. That makes for great slop fodder. So Mutahar's getting roasted by his community right now. People seem to be sympathizing with Nux Taku in this situation from what I can tell. But if there's anything about this drama that you want to tell me, if there's anything I was wrong about, then you let me know down there in the comment section. If you're here within the first 3 hours, I will reply. That might be a lie if I fall asleep though. Okay? Bye for now. Have a good one.